So there you are, worrying that no matter how much you throw yourself into this manifesting game, you'll end up with nothing. Not just a bit short, but you feel like you'll end up with flat out nothing. It's that nagging fear that you might pour your heart and soul into it and still come up empty-handed. Worse yet, you imagine being seen as a failure. Not just by yourself, but by every Tom, Dick, and Harriet on your Facebook feed, on your Instagram feed, the neighbor who never waves back, and that clique from your college days who always seemed a step ahead. There they are in YouTube glory, those success stories from every corner of the globe, racking up likes and living the dream. And here you are, wondering, why not me? Why can't I take off even one thing off my manifestation bucket list? You think it's like there's some cosmic conspiracy to keep you from what you want. You end up shadowboxing with your self-esteem, glorifying coaches, elevating random internet commenters, and believing you need to change into some guru level of being. A better version, 2.0, undergo rebirth, death, just to get a slice of the pie. But guess what? That's all smoke and mirrors. A distracting sideshow from the real deal. I am Dr. LOA for a taste of unity with your desires. Explore my Weightless Experience linked in the description box below for a seamless connection with money, wealth, resources. Dive into more than enough. And for one-on-one coaching, just email me at hello@anilareddy.com. So, coming back to this, I'm sure you've caught yourself at times just reacting to life surprises, right? Particularly the romantic kind that stir up all sorts of drama. Well, it's high time for a little intermission, right? So let's just hit pause, rewind, and really look at what's unfolding. You are not fighting off monstrous fears. You're just tangled up in an old narrative that's outlived its usefulness. So picture this. You are peeling off a label tagged fear. So what remains once the sticker comes off? Well, there you are, just you in the raw, minus the spooky background music. These fears, they're not the villains of your story. They're more like those extras who wander onto the stage of your life, unintentionally stealing the scene, but unintentionally. So observing them without the usual terror, you'll see them start to fizzle out. Once you shed the cloak of fear, who do you find underneath? A lighter version of yourself. Whole version. It's not even a version, it's the true you. It's primed to interact with the world in full resolution. So, instead of tossing affirmations into the cosmos like urgent telegrams or like a parrot, just ask another question. If fear wasn't part of the equation, what would be true of this moment? Now, emotions are the ultimate climate of the mind, right? Sunny days, stormy afternoon, overcast mornings. Each weather pattern is perfectly suited for its time. Trying to keep the sun shining perpetually is like trying to catch a cloud in a net. Neutrality is not a glitch in the system. It's an essential part of the spectrum, okay? So when fear of failure looms, it's tempting to see it as a fundamental part of your identity. But what if we question deeper? What if the fear itself is just a distorted reflection of your deeper truth? Here are some guided pause questions to explore the space. What is fear? And where does it come from? Just take a moment to locate fear in your experience. Can you find a tangible source of fear? Where is it? An actual entity? Or does it begin to dissolve upon close inspection? Just notice. Now ask, who notices this fear? Shift your attention from the fear itself to the one who is noticing it. Is the noticer also fearful, or is it a calm, detached, and fulfilled presence? Now, 3. What remains when the concept of fear is removed? What is your mental landscape like without the idea of fear? What qualities are present in this experience of awareness? Now ask yourself, is there a boundary where fear begins, or does it seamlessly blend into other emotions? Just explore the edges of fear. Does it have a distinct border, or does it merge into your general state, in your general experience of being? How does fear influence your actions and decisions when you are caught up in it? Just quickly reflect on the times when fear guided your choices. What would your actions look like now if fear were absent? What would you stop doing? What would you do more of? Does acknowledging fear change its impact or intensity? Notice what happens when you simply acknowledge fear without trying to change or combat it. Does its hold on you increase, decrease, or stay the same? Just notice. Now, these questions are not meant for rapid answers, but for a gentle exploration that can lead to simple yet profound insights. They encourage a softening of resistance to fear and recognizing what is there in its place. Because we open the door to a richer understanding of who you truly are, which is awareness, consciousness, love, God, just isness, silence. Beyond these fleeting identities and dramas that life scripts for you. So by engaging with these guided pauses, you're not just dissecting fear, you are resting in your foundational state of being, one that recognizes no separation between you and the world around you. This understanding doesn't just adjust your relationship with fear, it changes it completely. It changes how you engage with everything. You begin to trust that life is working for you now, instead of trusting that life is working against you. So here's the deal. As you dive into these questions, these guided pauses, you are opening a gateway to recognize your true self, which has always been there, always. Occasionally, you might feel like anchoring this recognition with a quick affirmation or a brief visualization. But don't overdo it. Keep these cues short and sweet. Just a nudge to remind you that you've already got whatever you truly want and whatever you truly need. So how often should you play with these questions or do any of these practices? Simply put, whenever you find yourself slipping out of your ideal state of being or slipping out of being in touch with your true self, You'll notice that the need for intense mental gymnastics decreases over time. Sometimes just one or two of these questions will snap you right back into the recognition of your true nature. At other times, you might feel moved to affirm something from this place of deep knowing after you ask these questions. Affirming after these guided pause questions. There's no rigid playbook here, because let's face it, your inner landscape is always like changing, it's all evolving. The tools and tricks that help you today might not be necessary tomorrow. And what used to unsettle you for days might soon lose its edge, barely bothering you for more than a few minutes. By the way, this is important. Progress, it's not a straight line. It zigs and zags, ebbs and flows. Remember, your true self is not going anywhere. It's not about nailing down a fixed routine, but about returning to yourself again and again. Discovering that each time it gets a little easier to stay rooted in the recognition of who you truly are. It's like updating your favorite app. Initial glitches might make you stumble, but soon it runs smoother than a viral TikTok dance. And you're left wondering how you ever managed without the latest version. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.